Hi, this is Roger again from Kanka Labs with another edition of our M Show, what every maker should have one of. And well, I know you Americans, you invented these Leatherman tools, but be honest, first of all, how often do you really carry them with you? I got this one here as a birthday present from my sister, and I'll be honest, I'll only have it with me in my backpack when I'm cycling, but usually I don't have it in my pocket. And the second thing what I don't like about the Leathermans is they are only a variation or a bigger copy of what we Europeans invented here, and that is the Swiss knife, the Swiss Army knife. And it's not only the Minichamp, which you might know also from David L. Jones over from the EAV blog, but there's also something like the ultimate maker tool, and that's the Swiss-Knife CyberTool. And if you until now had believed, well, you couldn't hide a pliers, a universal pliers inside a Swiss knife, I'll show you something better. And we just take a look at the single functions of the Swiss knife CyberTool, of course, from the original, from Victorinox. And we take a look at the single functions of the little Minichamp, which as you can see I have on my keychain and really always with me. And the CyberTool I have 80% of my time with me if I don't change my trousers or my jeans and I forget to put it in the pocket. It's always with me. So let's take a look at all the functions of the CyberTool and the Minichamp, and these are really this is really the ultimate nerd tool every maker should have one of. So let's take a look. So let's start with the bigger one, the CyberTool 34. In fact, there are 3 different types of this CyberTool. We've chosen for our shop the middle one, which I also own personally. The biggest one still has some more functions like a wood saw and a metal saw and a screwdriver, but I think this one here has the biggest bang for buck. And let's start with the most unique functions that you don't expect from a CyberTool. And that's here the hex drive with bits. If you take out the bits, you have a 5mm female hex drive for D-sub connectors. So how often was it when you wanted to fix these little hex standoffs of D-sub connectors and you didn't have one at hand or didn't have combination pliers or whatever? And so that's the first function, and it has a 4mm female hex drive for bits. And let's take a look at here we have a whole set of bits. Each are 2-headed. So the biggest one has on the one side a Phillips head with I think a number 2 and a slotted head with 4mm. Then we have 2 other Phillips or posi drive or a bit with 2 Phillips head and a posi drive tips. And what's very unusual is that you even get a Torx bits. All in all, 3 different Torx sizes are the most used ones: Torx 8, Torx 10 and Torx 15. And so I think that's really unique to have with you at with a Swiss knife. You can use it either at 90-degree angled or straight. And so let's put the bits back into their holder and take a look at the next best thing that you don't expect from a Swiss knife, and that is a combination pliers. So unbelievable that they even fitted this into a really portable Swiss knife. And it also, of course, has a dual or triple functions. It's not only here the jaws with the for the combination pliers, but you also have here wire cutters. Here you can't see it very good probably, but here is a little opening, and that can be used for wire cutting. And here this little indent is for crimping. So unbelievable how many thoughts they took to get as many functions as possible into this set. So let's piece by piece look what else we have. All the other things you probably know. Here you have a combination tool with a screwdriver with a 6mm length slotted head. You have the classical well, how's it called, a cap lifter, and there's also a second wire stripper here. This little indentation here is also usable for wire cutting. So let's see what else have we got. We have these the next screwdriver head with 3mm slot length, and of course the classical can opener. And see what we get next. Here we have scissors that are that sharp that you can also use them for wire cutting. Of course, not very hard or thick copper wires, but they are very sharp, and you can use unexpectedly thick wires with them. So what have we got next? Of course, your standard big knife, or with a large blade. We'll later see we also have one with a smaller blade. Of course, this is Swiss quality. They are really very sharp and very durable. And let's see what we have got next. Here is the small blade knife with about half the length of the large blade. And on the other side we have the classical corkscrew driver, and inside it you have a very small screwdriver that you especially need for your glasses, because this is the right size to fix the screws in your glasses. So very handy, but easy to lose. Well, at least my one is still has not got lost. Next we have a hook for carrying or other purposes, like you use this like this way to carry parcels, for example, which have straps on them, or so not to cut into your fingers. So a universal hook, also applicable for other purposes. And then we got this here, which I always forget. It's an ale, I think, or a reamer punch. Ale is the German word, and with a sewing eye even. So unbelievable what they how many thoughts they put into this. So if you're on an expedition and have to soothe something, or you want to enlarge the holes in leather, that's the right tool for it. And I think these were the main functions, but that is not all. Somewhat hidden are here small pliers, tweezers, excuse me, all the difficult English words. You have a toothpick, and what you always need and never have with you, a ball pen. So I think this is really unbelievable what how many thoughts they put into this. And by the way, it's transparent plastics, so they also excuse me, looks very nice. And well, if I ever find any place in my pocket and there's not too much change in it, I always carry this with me. It's really my personal crown jewel of Victorinox Swiss knives. But I'm honest, I really don't have it always with me. What I do have always with me, as I already showed you, because it's together on my with my keys on my keychain. This is the small Minichamp. You can see how heavily used it is. And after a little break, I will show you the functions of the small Minichamp, which every maker should have one of. So I needed the little break just to loosen it from my keychain and to look up all the English expressions for the different functions. So let's start in just by chance looking what it's inside. First of all, you always have a little tweezers here. You can exchange this with a toothpick, which you also get delivered when you buy one. And so you can choose either to use it with the tweezers or with the toothpick. In my case, of course, I take the tool, the tweezers. And as you see, it's really heavily used. We have little scissors, the small version of the big one we saw at with the CyberTool, also useful not only for cutting fingernails but also for cutting wires, as we makers always have to cut wires. We have a Phillips head screwdriver here at the tip of the can opener. And you also can see here this little indentation. That's again a wire stripper. Of course, not for all wires, but better you have at least one possibility to strip wires, except with the blades. And this is also handy. I am just like David L. Jones. I never have any pens with me, but I do have my Minichamp with me. And so it's quite useful to have this little ball pen. And in if you fold out the can opener, you also have quite a good grip. So the pen is really important for me personally. Let's see what we have here. This is the main knife. Just a little tip, you see these are a little bit dirty. If you should only clean them with pure water or water with milled soap, and after cleaning it, you should totally dry it with I don't know, cloth paper or something like that. And after that, you should oil it with milled oil. It should not have any acids in it, so use the oil that you also use with we in Germany call it sewing machine oil, or that you use with your bicycle. So it should never be any aggressive oil. just to protect it, it from rusting. So the knife is extremely sharp. You really have to watch out not to cut yourself. And I think these were the function we have on this side. As you can see, it has fallen. This is one of the little disadvantages. Mine has, I don't know, fallen a few dozen times on the ground, and then at some time the plastic starts to get damaged. But anyway, it's now, I think, 5 years old and really heavily used nearly every day. So that was a relatively good survival rate, concerning how often it fell down. So let's see what we get on the other side. We have this nail file with a nail cleaner and something else for cosmetic use. This is the least one. I think I can't remember if I've used it even once, a so-called cuticle pusher. But for those of you who are needing something cosmetic for their fingernails, it's of course quite handy to have one. So we've had a Phillips head screwdriver, and of course we also need a slotted head screwdriver. That's the one here at the tip. But it also has a ruler measuring as well for you measuring still in imperial units in inches, but of course also in millimeters. And what's next? We have these what it's called, what the Victorinox people call an orange peeler. But it's also extremely, this tip here is extremely sharp, so you can also use it as for wire stripping, and or as a scraper, because here this side is extremely sharpened, and you really can scrape even metal with this. And I think we've nearly come to the end of the function. So I think, no, we still have a small letter opener, a second knife. This one has a different shape and a different blade. It's most useful, of course, for letter opening, but because of the sharp tip, the Victorinox people call it an emergency blade, so it's probably also for cutting loose from safety bolts, or when you're just in an emergency MacGyver situation. So better to have two knives of a different blade shape than to have only one knife. So that was it for the Minichamp. It's for a Swiss-made product. It's relatively cheap, and even just to tell you a story, I got a classical Victorinox Swiss Army knife when I was a boy, as a birthday present from my grandfather. It didn't take, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, and I lost it. And since then, I didn't want to have any one again, just in fear of losing it again. But finally, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, I took a look at the homepage of Victorinox, and I was really astonished how the different Swiss knives they produce have developed. And I immediately bought even 3 different ones. The Minichamp, which you might also have seen over at David L. Jones' EEV blog channel, the CyberTool, and I still have the so-called Expedition kit. I think that's a little bit overkill here for our department, what every maker should have one. The Expedition kit also has thermometer, barometer, height measurement, and clocks. A clock lamp, a little incandescent lamp or LED lamp, in fact. But I think you really get through half of your life and through all of the emergency situation, which I always call MacGyver situations, when you have at least the Minichamp, very affordable, or for really to have always tools with you, really mechanical tools, the CyberTool. And so that was it for today. I hope you liked it, and watch out, subscribe to our channel if you're interested what else every maker should have one of. So that was it. Thanks for watching. Bye from Roger. Bye from Kanka Labs.